A reading from the Gospel according to Matthew. And when Jesus got into the boat, his disciples followed him. And a windstorm arose on the sea, so great that the boat was being swamped by the waves, but he was asleep. And they went and woke him up, saying, "Lord, save us, we are perishing." And he said to them, "Why are you afraid, you of little faith?" And he got up and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a dead calm. And they were amazed, saying, "What sort of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him?" The word of the Lord. I hear this story many a times, and usually think about it in terms of the saving act of Jesus who calms the storms. But this time, I was thinking in particular, it just struck me this time, they're in the boat, the waves are tossing them around, and they shout out, "We are perishing." And I thought to myself, technically that's not true. They may be afraid of perishing, but they are not actually in the act of perishing at this time. It's not as if they've been wounded and they're actively dying. And so really what's going on in this particular story is they are afraid that the situation that they're in is a catastrophe. And Jesus doesn't actually save them from death. Jesus saves them from their fear. It's an interesting thought, especially then when I think of all of the times in my life when I've catastrophized things and been really afraid of what might happen rather than actually dealing with what's really happening. We do this in the church. I remember one time in the church, not here at St. James, but at a different church I was serving, right as we were beginning Sunday morning worship, there was a power outage. All the lights went off, and people were in a panic, and they thought, what are we going to do? This is a catastrophe. How are we going to put on the church service? And for whatever reason, let's say it was Jesus, came over us in the moment, and we said, actually, let's just light some candles and have our worship service. And we realized we were getting really upset about something that nothing went wrong. Everything was fine. And the biggest thing we had to worry about was remembering what we needed to do in the moment, thinking through, are we really in any danger? Is this really a disaster? And having our eyes open to the fact that we were going to be okay. Now, we do that in the church, and I certainly know I do that a lot in real life when something happens and my first reaction is, it's a catastrophe. And I think maybe one of those things that will help me in this moment, knowing that it doesn't do any good to just say, calm down. If you've ever looked at somebody who was in a panic and told them, well, you just need to calm down, you know that doesn't work. And if I'm in a panic, I know just telling myself, calm down, doesn't help. So I need something bigger. I need something beyond myself that I can reach out for as a reminder. Is this thing that I'm afraid of really a catastrophe right now, really a danger right now? Or am I struggling with the fear of what might be a catastrophe or what might be a danger? And maybe that bigger thing that I can reach out to is Jesus. And I'm going to think about this story now the next time I'm running around thinking that something is a big problem. I'm going to remember this story of the disciples in the crashing waves of the sea, shouting out that they are perishing when they're actually not perishing. They're afraid of perishing. And Jesus doesn't actually need to save them from danger. He just needs to help them through their fear. And maybe next time I'm in that situation and I'm remembering this moment, that will help me in the midst of my fear. Thanks be to God. Amen.